March 24th, 1998. The Caribbean sun was just beginning to rise over the turquoise waters when the crew of the Rhapsody of the Seas noticed something chilling. A 23-year-old woman named Amy Lynn Bradley had vanished. No one saw her fall. No one heard a splash. And yet, she was gone, without a trace. What began as a dream vacation quickly became one of the most haunting missing person mysteries in maritime history. Was Amy kidnapped? Did she fall? Or did something more sinister happen aboard that cruise ship? Something that certain people never wanted to come to light. Amy Lynn Bradley was a 23-year-old from Chesterfield County, Virginia. Smart, athletic, and full of life. She just graduated from college and was working at a computer consulting firm. Her family described her as independent, strong-minded, and cautious. So when her parents, Ron and Iva, invited her to join them, along with her younger brother, Brad, on a Royal Caribbean cruise to Aruba, Amy hesitated. She wasn't comfortable being trapped at sea with thousands of strangers. But eventually she agreed. After all, it was a family trip, a chance to relax before starting her new life. The Rhapsody of the Seas was one of Royal Caribbean's flagship vessels, a floating city with over 2,000 passengers and 800 crew members. Pools, clubs, bars, casinos, everything to keep travelers entertained. But behind the glamour of the open sea, cruise ships are like small towns where rumors travel fast and secrets can be buried even faster. The Bradleys boarded in March 1998. Everything seemed fine. They took photos on deck, ate dinner together, and Amy even made some new friends, including the ship's band, Blue Orchid. One of the band members, a man nicknamed Yellow, seemed especially friendly with Amy. On March 23rd, the Bradleys attended a party on the ship. Amy and her brother Brad were dancing and drinking, enjoying themselves. Photos from that night show Amy smiling, laughing, having fun. But somewhere between 1 and 5 a.m., everything changed. Around 1 a.m., Amy was last seen dancing with Yellow. Later, she returned to her cabin with her brother. They sat on the balcony, talking quietly while the Caribbean waves rolled below. Around 5:15 a.m., Brad saw Amy asleep on the balcony and went back to bed. When their father woke up half an hour later, she was gone. Her cigarettes were missing. Her shoes were there. Her ID was still in the cabin. Ron Bradley immediately reported Amy missing. But the cruise staff, led by cruise director Kirk Detweiler, allegedly downplayed the urgency. According to the family, Detweiler told them Amy was probably still hungover or had gone ashore early. He announced Amy's name over the ship's intercom, telling her to please come to the purser's desk, which the family says only alerted potential suspects that authorities were looking for her. Even worse, passengers were allowed to disembark at the next port, Aruba, before the ship was fully searched. If someone had taken Amy, that was their chance to disappear forever. The investigation was chaotic from the start. Royal Caribbean conducted their own internal inquiry before local or FBI agents even boarded the ship. The Bradleys later said that the cruise line treated them like an inconvenience. Kirk Detweiler defended the crew's actions, claiming they followed protocol. But for Amy's family, it was clear something had gone terribly wrong. When the FBI got involved, valuable time was already lost. By then, any evidence, security footage, witnesses, clues, might have been wiped away. In the months after her disappearance, dozens of alleged sightings of Amy came in from across the Caribbean. A Navy officer claimed he saw a woman matching Amy's description on a beach in Curacao, approached by men who looked like locals, warning him to stay away. Years later, a Canadian tourist swore she saw Amy in a Curacao brothel. Terrified, begging for help, an investigator was even sent a photo of a woman resembling Amy, scantily dressed with fear in her eyes. Forensic experts said the woman in the picture had the same tattoos as Amy. Was she being trafficked? The Bradley family never stopped searching. They hired private investigators, traveled to the Caribbean multiple times, and even worked with human trafficking experts. They appeared on national shows like America's Most Wanted and The Montel Williams Show. Ron and Iva Bradley have often said they believe their daughter was alive for years after the cruise. Meanwhile, Kirk Detweiler continued his career. He later became the director of a community theater in Ohio. When Netflix revisited the case, in 2024's Amy Bradley is Missing, Detweiler appeared again, defending Royal Caribbean's handling of the crisis, insisting the family's grief had turned into misplaced blame. So what really happened to Amy Lynn Bradley? Theories range from tragic accident to calculated abduction. Some believe she fell overboard. But Amy was a strong swimmer, and the waters were calm. Others believe she was taken by someone on board, possibly connected to the entertainment staff or human trafficking networks that used Caribbean ports as gateways. The cruise line's delayed response and the lack of security footage left a dark cloud over the truth. Even today, no one knows if Amy is alive or dead. Amy Lynn Bradley's story is one that lingers, not just because of the mystery, but because of what it reveals about safety at sea. Cruise ships operate in legal gray zones. Once you leave port, jurisdiction becomes murky, and accountability often disappears, just like Amy did. Her parents continue to hope. To this day, Amy Lynn Bradley is still listed as missing. 27 years have passed since Amy Lynn Bradley vanished into the Caribbean night, and still, no answers, no justice, no closure. Her family wakes up every day wondering if she's out there somewhere, waiting to be found, or if the truth about what really happened on that ship is buried forever beneath the waves. Amy's story isn't just about one woman. It's about what happens when accountability disappears at sea, when corporate image matters more than human life. The ocean is vast, but secrets don't stay buried forever. If Amy's story moved you, share it, because awareness keeps cases like hers alive. And maybe, just maybe, one person out there knows something that can finally bring her home. Thank you for watching. If you believe every story deserves to be told, hit that like button, share Amy's story, and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries that the world should never forget. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and keep asking questions. Asking.